So what we're going to do today is this is going to be just an example to show you the test of goodness of fit so you can see how this process works. If you look at number 9 in your textbook, this is from chapter 26. It's talking about the offspring of fruit flies, whether they're yellow or ebony bodies, and whether they have normal wingspan or short wings. The genetic theory says that it's going to be 9, 3, 3, 1. So I kind of wrote the numbers down. That means you're going to have 9 yellow normal wings, 3 yellow short wings, 3 ebony normal wings, and 1 ebony short wing. Those are the expected. And then a researcher checks 100 and finds these. And so I've written all those down. Okay, there's 59 yellow normal wings, 20 yellow short, 11 ebony normal, and 10 ebony short. And so what we need to do is, in order to run a fit test, we have to figure out the expected. Now, one thing that you have to realize is that these numbers, this was out of a total 16. And so the yellow normal wings is 9 out of 16. The yellow short wings is 3 out of 16, 3 out of 16, and 1 out of 16. So if I know I have 100 of them, so then to find the expected, I'm going to do 9 over 16 times 100. 3 over 16 times 100. And you could do this by hand, or you can let your calculator do it either way. But what we need you to do now is I need you to go ahead and put this in our L1, this in our L2, so that we can go ahead and find the calculation. Okay, so I have all of them in our calculator. Now, essentially, you're supposed to check the hypothesis, check all the conditions, do all that stuff, but we've done a lot of that in class, and I just want to make sure you have the calculator skills to do this. So what I'm going to do now is, now that everything's in, I'm going to go to my stat, I'm going to go to my test, and I'm doing the chi-square goodness of fit test, D. Okay, so I'm going to hit enter. My observed is an L1, my expected is an L2. Now my degrees of freedom, I had 4 different categories here, and so my degrees of freedom is 4 minus 1. So my degrees of freedom is 3. And then I go to calculate, and so I find out that my chi-squared is 5.67, and that my p-value is 0.128. 0.128 is a pretty large p-value, so we're going to fail to reject the null hypothesis that they're the same. And so we recognize that our model, or the sample we have, is not the same as what we collected or what was predicted. Okay? Just remember again, I didn't check the conditions. You know the 4 different conditions you have to check. You need to state that it's a chi-squared test, goodness of fit test. And then you also have to make sure that you state the degrees of freedom.